Welcome back to TV Fights. Let's jump right into the Season 6 premiere of Modern Family. In this episode, the Dunphys are having the greatest summer ever. Everything is so peaceful and harmonious. And then Ariel Winter comes back from her summer building houses for the poor, and the entire house turns back into insanity. There's this nice visual of a butterfly in the kitchen, and it gets turned into a bat. People seem to think this episode is really mean-spirited, but it's actually a hilarious juxtaposition with the Dunphys being high on life and Mitchell being annoyed as usual because he just can't reciprocate Cam's extravagant romantic gestures months after they got married. Claire tells Mitch that he's being ungrateful, and then it cuts to Claire being kind of mean to Phil, who's dressed up in a heart-shaped costume when it wasn't even Valentine's Day. In terms of favorite characters, Phil is up there, Cam is up there, Jay is up there. They're just such well-rounded personalities with so many different artistic talents and stuff. But low-key, my favorite character is Ariel Winter's Alex Dunphy. She starts off very nerdy, kind of mean, pretty sarcastic, and then she grows very comfortable and confident in herself and her abilities. The way she's so different from the rest of the family, the way they bounce off each other, make each other better, like when Alex is super competitive and beats the rest of the family at Scrabble, so Claire helps Luke cheat so that he could beat her for once, so that she's not being a sore winner. I also noticed Ariel Winter ends up having more boyfriends on the show than she ends up ever having any actual friends on the show, which is very interesting. Luke definitely got way more douchey in later seasons. People say the same about Manny. But with Manny, I admire his confidence and his pretentious style. Like when he's dressed up as some obscure character from a play to represent the heartbreak that he's feeling. That is totally what someone like that would do. I really love the episodes where the characters are doing something artistic and creative, like Phil's magic, Cam's Fizbo, Jay's dog beds, closets, Manny's screenplays. The yard sale episode where Gloria was a ventriloquist, that almost makes my top 10. Because these episodes offer great moments of dialogue for the characters to build each other up, play to each other's strengths, and get their work done. That's why I love that Manny had a talent show for the family in the Year of Birthdays episode. The reason I chose this episode was because of all the great episodes around it. For example, the wedding episode I think is one of the best season finales of any show up to this day. If Mitch and Cam weren't in love, they would just be toxic bullies to each other. Like when they're going out to the dinner and they're wearing the same suit, and so Mitch shakes up a can of soda so that it bursts all over Cam so that he can't wear the suit so that Mitch can. But Mitch even sticks up for Cam when his dad is a little uncomfortable with the gay wedding, and he's like, then don't come to the wedding. Just made it that much more heartfelt. And I was close to reviewing other episodes of the season, like the grill episode and the one where Alex is going off to college and Claire is trying to give her a nice gift. These are the type of family gatherings that you love to see. I love the moment where Gloria is giving a toast to Alex because she was the first one who reached out to her. Everyone sees you as the smart one, but to me, you're the kind one. That was a really nice moment. My favorite line in the wedding episode is when Alex notices that Haley might be stringing Andy along just for the fun of it, so she tells her, it takes guys like him way longer to get over girls like you than it takes girls like you to get over guys like him. That line is so true. I'm so glad they included that line. I thought Andy was really great for Haley. It's better than her ending up with Dylan. I don't hate Dylan, but having her end up as a housewife just retroactively ruins all the character building with her fashion blog, different careers. It's like what Claire was telling her in the season 2 episode. She's going to resent the man for taking away the best years of her life. This episode is actually a compliment to Alex Dunphy because the entire family realizes that they need her around to tell them what they're doing wrong. With Haley live streaming at improper moments and Claire barely reading, watching a lot of trash TV. It's also amazing seeing Adam Devine play a character who is the complete opposite to his character on Workaholics. That shows great acting range. I love when Haley gets the idea to play a trick on the parents by editing a message on their answering machine, and Alex compliments her saying, your mind is so brilliant. If you had put this much effort into your schoolwork, there's no telling, why do you have to ruin everything? I know, she's always talking about my potential. Just great moments like that. And I love how in the season 7 Christmas episode, Alex is trying to be all cheerful and loving towards the family, and everyone thinks that she's just being sarcastic because she usually is. Her dad's like, it's ugly, honey. And And of course, it would not be a great Modern Family episode if it did not have at least one word pun, double entendre miscommunication. When Mitch and Cam make up at the end, Lily comes by and says, "Are we almost done with fairy time?" And they both act offended, thinking that it's some kind of gay slur, but really she just wants to change out of her fairy-style dress. Alright, now let's talk about the third episode of the iCarly revival, iFauxpologize. Spencer tries to be thought-provoking by asking the question, what is a feeling? While the rest of the gang is laughing at squirrel memes on their phone, he unveils his scroll sculpture, and Carly spits out a disgusting old takeout meatball. Her friend Harper takes a picture of this, and it looks like Carly is reacting negatively to Spencer's sculpture, and this sparks a ton of memes. Carly's getting very popular off these meatball memes. Meanwhile, Spencer is very upset and hurt that people aren't taking his art seriously. Carly fake apologizes because she doesn't really see a problem with this. Harper advocates and says this is good publicity and makes t-shirts out of the meme. This prompts Spencer to open an exhibit with deliberately bad art called the Museum of Influence. Carly starts live streaming. We get giant lattes that read, "Is this art?" We get a reference to Marilyn Diptych by Andy Warhol pop art. We get a giant like button. Carly notices that the other people in the gallery are feeling personally attacked by the art. Then she realizes that she's being personally attacked as well. Spencer getting revenge on Carly is an absolutely amazing plot for them to bring back the show to try to do. Spencer deliberately trying to prove a point because he's sick of how people are obsessed with fake art and how people are obsessed with fake likes. One thing that I remembered is how in the last few seasons of iCarly, Spencer barely makes any sculptures. I remember noticing that back in the day. Then everyone is turning on Spencer, which feels like a similar lesson that Freddie's one-off girlfriend who tried to get with him just to get him and Sam to help her with her web show so she could take over iCarly, and then her web show ends up being a flop anyway. Carly tells Spencer that everything online is just a joke, realizing that she loves getting likes and that her content does have merit. And Carly apologizes to Spencer for ignoring his feelings. The self-aware media internet tone really feels like a product of the time. I noticed that the characters in the original iCarly when they were growing up had this sense of independence that almost makes up for how tween shows at the time, all of them pretty much felt like 40-year-olds pretty much writing what they thought kids and teens sounded like. Carly's focus in the revival is all about content, all about perfecting and pursuing her style of comedy with ideas such as Captain American cheese. Is Spencer a good artist? I like his sculptures like the Splatter Man, the Video Squirrel, Toasty the butter sculpture, and the clay fish. Very DIY, very expressionist. Josh Peck plays Carly's other manager, who seems to have pretty smart ideas when it comes to expanding her content. This makes Freddie insecure, and it really plays to Josh Peck's fun, charming energy, and it's very symbolic because he played her older brother on Drake and Josh. Rewatching episodes of the revival since they came out, hearing Carly say lines such as, "I'm so happy I'm making content again," that really hit home for me, considering my relationship with making content over the past 5 years. I actually like Freddie way more in the revival than I did in the original. Similar to Ariel Winter's Alex Dunphy, it feels like he really grew into his personality. Seems like he really knows what he's doing with his professional work, even though he gets hypnotized by fake magic sand. And I'm really happy he ended up with Carly in season 3. I really like the plotline where Carly and Freddie go back to their high school reunion. Carly was abroad most of the senior year, so she's like, "I've missed such important moments, like Anna Kendrick's cups." That is such a hilarious and true reference. And with the iCarly web show being as hyped as it was in the iCarly universe as well as in real life, it's similar to how shows like Hannah Montana and Big Time Rush, they basically program their audiences. I really like the acoustic version of the theme song that they use for the outro. The Modern Family intro is iconic as well. But of course, the Drake and Josh intro is the best. Did you guys ever notice how they edited so many different versions of the intro to the last few seasons of iCarly? It felt like there was a new version of the intro like every few episodes. I'm sure whoever edited those intros is cringing at the perfectionistic mistakes of using clips from older seasons. Doesn't it feel like artists like Hannah Montana and Big Time Rush only got popular because of the hype that the show directed around these plot lines? But Big Time Rush and Hannah Montana genuinely had some good songs. That being said, some of the lines and some of the acting in the revival can be really cringy. Like in the season 3 finale when Carly gets overwhelmed because she thinks Freddie's gonna propose, and Carly's like, I'm not actually frustrated at Freddie. I'm frustrated because of Mom. Like, that line felt out of nowhere. That made me laugh out loud. That being said, the cliffhanger leaving us in suspense does make me want us to get an iCarly movie soon. So, which episode wins? Even though I love the A plot of this iCarly episode, the B plot almost completely ruins it, with Freddie's stepdaughter Millicent pretending to be offended by something he tweeted 8 years ago. I hated that. Modern Family definitely wins. It would have been a great show even if it was just a traditional 3-camera sitcom approach, but the mockumentary style really gives opportunities for side interviews with hilarious dialogue and insights into the characters' motivation. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. See you next time.